Hi guys, welcome back to Kpop Talks. I'm your host, and today we're gonna do our weekly Kpop recap of the second week of April. We have a lot of music to talk about, so let's get right into it. I think there's a lot of quality actually. So yeah, let's go right into it and review the stuff that I've heard this week. First song we have is Balming Tiger with SOS. I really like this Balming Tiger song, definitely more than their previous comeback, the recent comeback they had. I feel like this really fits with their style a little bit more. It's punk rock, it's different, it's alternative. It's simple, straight to the point, but it has personality, it's energetic, it's charismatic. I think that's what they're really, really good at. And that's I think what really separates them as a collective compared to a lot of other artists in Korea. So I really enjoy it. I enjoy the aesthetic. I enjoy what they went for. It's simple, straight to the point, and uh, I think actually surprisingly catchy. Maybe you don't expect it from a song like this, but I found it to be quite catchy personally, in its own little way. So yeah, I like it. It's one of my favorites of the week, 100%. Next we have Shin with Keeping the Fire. A rookie group, this is their debut. I think for a debut, honestly, it's pretty solid. It's very Blackpink inspired in my opinion. You can hear it, you can feel it, you can see it. It's a solid song overall. It's actually relatively catchy as well. I think the vocals are quality. Not everybody though seems to really have the spotlight. I see a lot of fans complaining about it, which is never a good thing. I mean, this is your debut, you know. This is where you should use all your idols to really, somewhat at least, give them a showcase, right? So if already in your debut you're making people not really sing and stuff like that, it's never a good sign as a label, in my opinion. But overall, the song is fine. It reminds you of like 2019, 2020 Blackpink. I'm fine with it. It's done with taste, you know. It's again, like I said, it's the fourth generation era. It's a lot of copycats, but honestly, I didn't mind this song as much as other like copycat songs because I feel like this one, you know, it has quality behind. I think the performers specifically, I think, are really really good, and you can really feel it, and you know you can see it. I think if you've been around the genre as much as I have, for example, you can really tell when there's special idols in a group. And I think these people have a really special group in their hands. Hopefully, their company will be smart enough to use them the correct manner and, you know, and not waste this potential, let's say. Next, we have Cody Lee with Dancing Lights. Now, originally I thought it was a Korean song. Then I actually read the name of the song and it was in Japanese and I realized it wasn't, but I liked it, so I'll just put it anyway. It's a nice alternative J-rock song in my opinion. Sweet vocals, simple, a guitar, not really much behind it. I really like how the guy and the girl really complement each other vocally, and you know it has a very nostalgic feel to it. You know, it brings you to a past of like a life you didn't really have. It's a very interesting thing for me with these type of songs because they really give you that nostalgic feel of a life that you never really had, you know. And the music video also vibes of it really reminds you of that, like the retro photography and this retro cinematography. That's how you say it in English, and the imagery overall makes it really fun. And yeah, it was a very enjoyable track in my opinion, and I recommend you to go listen to it if you're into this type of stuff. Also kind of like indie and folk, more indie than folk, but there's elements of that as well. Next we have Inata 46, J-pop group. The name of these songs is really hard. I can't really say it, so I'm just gonna put it on the screen. It's a solid, I think, Inata song. If you like Inata, I think you'll like this song as well. I mean, there isn't anything special about it. So yeah, it's solid, I think, in that sense. So if you like it, you like it. If you like their stuff, you like this stuff as well. So yeah, I mean, I personally enjoyed it. It's not the best vocals, let's be honest. I think Inata Zaka out of the three main 46 group has the weakest vocals in my opinion overall. But yeah, I mean, the song is solid, so I don't really have much complaints about it, you know. Next we have Shido with 1, 2, 3 play. I think play is also part of the title, maybe. I don't know. Overall, I think it's a solid R&B song by him. Kind of feel bad for him because all the Ravi controversy and him trying to dodge the military through like fake documents and stuff really kind of, I think, slow down his career. Uh, you know, it must be very tough for him, I think, right? Because he's had a good run these last couple of years, and then you have these type of things like happen to the owner of your label. It can be really fucking tough. So I kind of feel bad for him in a sense, but you know, the song is solid, and hopefully from this year, really have a resurgence and really get the I think the credit and I think the success that he deserves because he's really good. Next we have Giddy Boy featuring Big Naughty with Kiss Me. I mean, this is solid Big Naughty song, I think. I mean, I wouldn't say even like I kind of forgot about it. Really, I had to listen to it for a second because it kind of just went and go. It's like that. It's one of these songs that you can just listen in the background and you don't even notice really. That's kind of how the get the vibe from the song personally. Um, it's okay. I think the vocals are really good. I was never a fan of Giddy Boy's voice in general, but he has improved. I think through the years, it's undeniable. You can't really even talk about 2019, 2018 Giddy Boy and talk now and think you're talking about the same artist in a sense, you know. He does very similar music, but he has evolved into his own style in a way that I think it's more suitable. And you can give credit to Big Naughty as well because I didn't like when Big Naughty started singing, and I'm starting to appreciate him more and more and more. I still think he has to grow a little bit because even last year I felt like his project that he ended up dropping was not bad, but it was a misstep in my opinion. So hopefully 2022 will be a better year where he can improve at least when it comes to the concept aspect of his albums and his own personal, I think, originality in that style of music. Next we have Yecheon with Knock. I mean, it's clear this year that this is the year of repetitive choruses because uh, this is probably already the 30th, if not the 40th song I've heard this year in the genre that has a repetitive chorus. It's fine. I think it's very, very catchy. Don't get me wrong with it. No, 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 no. Which but I've heard a million times in pop music, but you know it's fun, and you have to give her credit. She has built her own lane. You know, it's hard to be the sister of a very, very famous idol, and at the same time do your own thing. You know, and do it successful and do it at a high level. So you have to give her credit in that sense. A lot of others would have folded already, or they would have chose maybe to join a group and stuff like that. Going solo like this, it's hard, and doing it well the way she's done it, I think it's hard as well. So give her credit. The song overall, it's enjoyable. I wouldn't personally go back to it as much because I think it's quite forgettable, but it's definitely catchy. If you like these more vibe girl pop stuff, there's no way you're not gonna like this. You know, it's definitely on the funner side of things, and it doesn't take itself too seriously, maybe concept wise. And as an artist, she understands her lane in her own concept and style in a way that makes her music more enjoyable, I think. Next, we have Dawn with Dear My Light. Honestly, this is a really good song by him. It seems like the breakup really inspired him. Obviously, this song is about Rihanna. You can read it through the lyrics and everything. It's even said in a recent interview, you know, I didn't break up with her, she ended up breaking up with me, you know. Which is interesting in a way because the moment they end up breaking up, Rihanna started again making music and stuff like that. It's very interesting in a way. And he also really started doing it again. So um, the song is beautiful. Definitely, you can hear the GD influences. I mean, they're everywhere. I think aesthetically, to the music video, vocally, production-wise, this really reminds you of GD 2018, 2017 in that sense. But it's done in a very good manner, and his vocals have improved a lot. You know, since his debut, which is a really, really good aspect, I think, of him as an artist. It's interesting to hear an idol really put his art out there. You know, in a way that it feels real and not fabricated. That's really cool. Then we have Sole and Song Ki-kyung. Song Ki-kyung, I'm pretty sure it's his name, with I Need You. Really, really good song, I have to say. You know, it's Song Si-kyung, right? But it's a really, really good song. I feel like those songs with just amazing vocals. This is the one for you. Simple R&B song, great vocals, straight to the point, just flexing their vocal abilities. There's no way you're not gonna love it, and I personally really like it. Next song we have Park Ji-hoon with Blank Effect. You know, it's interesting to see his career because he's one of these idols after pretty much 101. The first one has a very successful independent career, but on top of that, he has really, I think, been able to do something I think a lot of other idols in general fail at too, which is really try different styles from one, you know, come back to another, because he has tried a lot of different style of music in my opinion, and this is overall a good song. Like most of his songs, honestly, their quality, you have to give him credit in that sense. Also shorter song as well, doesn't go over 3 minutes. He understands that very well. I said, this type of songs can be very, very boring to listen a million times, and on top of that, I think K-pop companies are starting to understand that as well, because they're copying the same thing that a lot of American labels were doing with like trap in 2017 or 18, where they would drop these 2 minute song, 1 minute 30, 2 minute 30 songs. So the replay value would be high, right? It's one of the reasons why XXX Tentacion has, billions of streams, is because a lot of his songs are like 1 minute, 1 minute 30, right? That helps a lot. And I think he, like many other groups, are starting to understand that if I'm gonna release a song that again is just a banger, no point of dragging it for 4 minutes and 30 if I'm not gonna do anything interesting with it. I'm gonna get it back to 2 minute 57 and do my job. So in that sense, he does it. Overall, I really like his performance. The song is simple, it's aggressive, it's edgy maybe in a way. It's a little bit sexy. I think he does what he's supposed to do correctly. There's not much really to complain. It's a good song. It's a classic 7 out of 10 song, which is a good thing, obviously. Next is Just Be with Camellia. Now, the Korean title of this song is huge, but it's just simply Camellia. It's actually interesting because this is a different side of them. It's a ballad. It's a simple ass song, but I think it's actually it's refreshing for a group like Just Be to see them in a different light. Simple, no bullshit. Sometimes I think they really showcase their true ability as artists, as singers more than artists, really, in my opinion. And it was a nice thing to see. Again, it's a simple ass song. You're not gonna really get anything interesting. It's about like many others you heard in K-pop, but it's done with taste, and I think it's done nice. And I think understanding that also from a visual aspect when it comes to music video and go with like a vlog effect to it, I thought made complete sense in my opinion. So overall, it's a good song in my opinion. For Just Be, I think it's fresh and it's fun to go to see them release light. uh so yeah, I enjoyed it. It's not one of the best songs though. It's a solid song in a sense, but from Just Be, I love seeing it, honestly. It's kind of cool. Next, we have Dream Note with Lemonade. Just a simple dance pop song, in my opinion. You're not gonna get anything crazy from them, but it's well done. It's relatively catchy. The production is a little bit too loud for no reason, in my opinion, especially because the girl don't really match that energy to their own performance, right? But that contrast also kind of makes it fun in that sense. So it's an okay song, in my opinion. I love seeing Dream Note drop back to back two completely different tracks to showcase their range. And yeah, it was really fun for me to see them do this. In short notice, not many companies don't tend to do that at all. So, overall, it's a solid song. And next you have Coogie with Buck. After a really good run, I think he's coming to AMG. This is by far the worst single he has dropped, in my opinion. Uninspired, terrible lyrics. Bro, he says three things, he just repeats them for 3 minutes. 2 minutes and 30. Just for that, you deserve to go to jail for a year, in my opinion, as a rapper. And the beat is not really that good. His flow is not that good. His vocals are not that good. In fact, I would say his vocals are the worst part of the song as a whole. Like, if you're gonna do this dragged out, kind of like tired style of rapping, you better bring the heat vocally, flow wise and like rapping wise, like Woo Jet does, for example, in Korea is a perfect example of that. But if you're gonna drop this sorry ass song with these sorry ass rhymes and beat, I can't really respect it anyway. So terrible song. I think probably this week worst song by far, in my opinion. And as soon as I say that, I remember that Yeon dropped this sorry ass song known as Cherry Coke. Another hyper repetitive song this week with this hyper repetitive chorus. The beat, I found it to be relatively obnoxious, honestly. I don't think it's very enjoyable. I think her vocals are okay. I think her performance overall is okay, but yeah, it's quite uninspired. I feel like, I get it. Probably your company requires you to do this stuff. Like, you must drop a song that is more trendy and maybe it goes viral through TikTok and stuff like that. I completely get it, but for me personally, I'm not a fan of this, and I think unfortunately, I think I know, and I am saying it, it is one of the worst songs of the year already. It is what it is. Except Girls featuring Apoki with Countdown. Nice. I think it's the first time I see Apoki really feature in anybody's song. And honestly, this is relatively quality. I enjoyed it quite a bit. This is another Japanese idol group. It's interesting to see Japanese group companies crossovering more in K-pop this year than the last couple of years, more than it did like when K-pop was really popping worldwide. It's very interesting to see that personally. But that's how Japan companies are. Japan moves at its own pace in general. But the song is really good. I love the feature from Apoki. The other girls are really good. There's a couple of these girls that sing very, very well, and they have amazing vocal range. And you didn't expect that from a song like this. It's simple, straight to the point. You're not getting anything you've never heard of, but at the same time it's done well, it's executed well, and the feature they chose, it's particular and it's original enough that actually gives something more to the song. It improves the song, but it also makes it unique in a way, because who really is getting Apoki in a in an idol group? It's a very interesting move by this company in my opinion, and for the girls. So overall, if you've never heard anything from their stuff, I would recommend go listen to it, because I think it's really good. And I don't know if this is their debut, honestly. I haven't checked, honestly, but if it is, it's already one of the best rookie songs of the year. If it isn't, it doesn't matter. It's still one of the best songs of the month in my opinion. So really good job at Girls Goes, and really good job at their company and at Poki for the way they've came up with this concept, honestly, and this idea at least. Next we have AP Alchemy with Sweat. R&B. I mean, it's very interesting to hear R&B in K-pop, like actual R&B, classic R&B from the 90s and 2000s. It's more 2000 than 90s in my opinion. Song is really fun. It's super sexual, like most R&B, super explicit, but the vocals are really, really good. And if you're into it, Swing surprisingly does a good job as well. Like everybody does a really good job. You wouldn't really give it a dime if you didn't know these artists, but I don't know many of them. 3 out of 4 of them I don't know, but the production is really good. The vocals are all amazing. They all have great chemistry on the song, and they have personality. And again, I think in a way it's refreshing to hear an R&B Korean song that is actually explicit, and it's actually follows in a way the tradition of actual R&B, or at least one would call it modern R&B. So yeah, I enjoyed it, and I'm not necessarily gonna listen to it as much, but and this is it for the second week of April. I think overall it was a really good week. I mean, apart from a couple, I think, of songs that really, you know, not really made me enjoy. One thing I think it's a good note. A lot of great stuff from male idols, at least male artists, but mostly it's solo stuff. We got a couple of things from groups, but not really anything as a whole. So it's been kind of a slower week in that sense. But I think for somebody like me who's been listening to more and more solo Korean music recently, as I mean the last 3 years pretty much, I've really enjoyed it. So if you like solo stuff, I think this month of April will be more in your line. So if I had to say my favorite out of this month, 100%, I would say Bobbing Thunder with SOS. I really liked it. Cody Lee, I love their song. I would say Dawn with Dear My Light, Sol and Son Sekyung with Need You. And I would say Girls with Counterfeit Apoki. These were, and also Epic Alchemy with Sweat. These were the best songs, I think. And obviously the 2 worst songs were Cookie and Yan, 100%. Nothing really came close to it this month and this week specifically. So yeah, this was it. Next week we have some interesting stuff already coming out for this week, which I'm gonna drop the video, which is obviously NCT Dojo Jung. We have Tempest, which really makes me interested, another Inata Zaka song. So there's stuff already that I'm looking forward to. Let me check if there's anything else I'm really looking forward this week. Let me see. What is it? Here, I think. I mean, Must Be technically is coming back. Golden Child, Dripping. So we're getting a lot of male group idols, which I'm really looking forward to. Hopefully they're good. And yeah, and August D, obviously. Sugar, we're waiting for him. P1 Harmony, The Boys. So Blitzer 17. Yeah. This is hopefully a really good month for this week will be a really good week for male idol groups, and hopefully it will not be a bunch of samey songs like that all sound the same, times 10. This is the thing that worries me overall. But let's not be negative. Let's enjoy this week, and hopefully you enjoyed as well. Tell me what were your favorite songs out of this bunch if you ever heard them, your least favorite songs, and leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, and see you next time. Thank you for watching.